Well, hello there. So nice of you to stop by for a visit this afternoon for our historic Hunkered Down Home Alone Together Happy Holidays. I hope your holidays are going great because of our time together every day. Mine are definitely going better than they would be if I was just sitting home alone pouting. We're still waiting for the storm to come in. I guess they said it's going to be coming in around 7 tonight. I look outside. Don't see anything yet, but it does look kind of overcast and like that. But what I wanted to, one of the things I want to talk about today is, it's called Fighting COVID Fatigue. And a lot of people, a lot of us are fighting COVID fatigue because we're tired of being home and not being able to go and do what we want and see the people we want and hug people and have people over to the house and all that stuff. Then you pile on that, the simple COVID fact and then the political situation and and it can be kind of frustrating, but it is something that we can fight to the best of our ability. And we can do that because we have the power to focus our minds. It might seem like we're just doing this frivolous thing in the afternoon, just getting together for a cup of tea or coffee or wine or whatnot. But it's so much more than that. We are making a vital, important, and precious connection. Whether we're making it in real time here on Facebook Live or watching it later on YouTube, being together is so important. So I want you to know that what we're doing now is important because we are literally fighting COVID fatigue. COVID fatigue can lead to depression and a dark feeling in our heart and soul, and we don't want that, especially at Christmas, okay? So I think that I want to thank you for being here and watching the videos, and because I feel like we're together and you're helping me fight the thought of COVID fatigue, and likewise I hope that I'm helping you fight it also. So there's an article about this on the news last night. I thought I'd share a few of the things that they talked about. First of all, that this is a serious thing that is happening for a lot of people. They're getting depressed. One of the things they said, they don't have anyone to talk to. And you know what? Especially if you're feeling lonely, you can be somebody to talk to for someone who's feeling lonely. Even if like you knit or do something else with your hands, you can even have a regular phone call as opposed to a video chat. Video chats are so much more fun, but you could do whatever you have to do. It says use your creativity, and I've said that before. We are all literal geniuses, and I really encourage you to release that genius within you. Start a new tradition. It doesn't matter what it is, just find something to start. Make it a phone call. Make it, I got Christmas cards yesterday. Now, I don't send Christmas cards. They, for me, they're like, really expensive, and the postage, and the people can't read my handwriting. But I do try to send the virtual Christmas cards as I can. But I got 4 Christmas cards so far this holiday season, and I loved it. I remember the days when I used to hang the Christmas cards on the tinsel garland, or I would hang them, or I would tape them all around my door. And so that there used to be, you would get so many. But I wanna thank those folks who did send me Christmas cards, because that was a real treat. Even if I don't send them, I did like getting them. And what a lot of you may not realize, if you put tags on your gifts, you can take last year's Christmas cards and cut up the front and punch a hole in it and use it for a gift tag. My nieces have done that for decades. So enjoy that. Maybe that could be your new tradition. If you haven't sent out Christmas cards in ever, start. You can revive an old tradition, something that was done in your family that you kind of fell away from. You have to stand fast against depression and COVID fatigue, or just news fatigue, or circumstantial fatigue. You know, the word circumstance means the things that stand around your circumference. Circum, around you, stance, stand. We take a stand in the middle of whatever we're going through, and we have the choice to turn our mind positive or negative to what we want to focus on. We can do it, we can do things in small increments. We don't have to do everything at once. I know that it's tempting to say, like, oh, I got all this stuff I want to do, or I don't have anything to do. Somewhere between I don't have anything to do and I got too much to do, there is what is called balance. And of course, I'm going to tell you a great source for ideas. If you don't already have it, as long as we're doing these videos, you don't have to worry, because I'm going to tell you what the national day is today. But if we get to the point where I decide to let that piece of the day go, you know where you can find it, the National Day calendar. Well, today is National Chocolate Covered Anything. Can't go wrong with that, right? Well, I've been really my mind has been tied up in the million things that I'm doing. I do a video, in the evening as well. I do my Rise of the False Gods book study. So I go from one to the other, and then there's cleaning the house and all that kind of thing I do. But that National Day calendar is the most wonderful way to give you something to focus on for the day. So because today is National Chocolate Covered Anything Day, I was actually sitting here working on the sock monkey, because I want to show you an update today. And I said, oh no, I forgot, it's National Chocolate Covered Anything Day. And this is what I did in about a minute and a half or 2 minutes. I made chocolate dipped apricots. And they are basically, the recipe calls for 36 dried apricots and a cup of chocolate chips. Well, remember the other day we were talking about Tim Gunn on Project Runway, and what did he say? Make it work. Well, I didn't have, any chocolate chips. I used them when I made fudge a week or two ago. But I did have a candy bar. Now, I did not want to make the amount 36. That would be a whole lot of apricots that I should not sit down and eat, even though I could. So what I did was I grabbed out the dried apricots. You can use any dried fruit. Yes, you can use prunes even, and chocolate-covered prunes are really quite good. So it took me, you melt the chocolate. So here's the deal, make it work. Take however much chocolate you've got that you want to use. So if there's only one of me, I used a half of a little chocolate bar. And, well, the kind like Lindt, or, the ones you get, Ghirardelli you get in the store, like that. And I took a half of that, and I threw it in a little bowl. I threw it in the microwave for, it said to put in a cup of chips for 1 minute. I was a little leery of that, so I put these in for 30 seconds and took it out, stirred it around, put it in for another 15, took it out. Bowl was hot. I kept stirring it till it, all melted. And I dipped those apricot pieces, they're little whole dried apricots. I dipped them into the chocolate and put them on a piece of wax paper and put them in the fridge to set. They shouldn't need to stay in the fridge after that. It should be fine to just put them in a candy dish or something. But, I mean, it took me like no more than 5 minutes, start to finish. So yes, and mine are a little bumpy because the candy bar that I used had crushed pistachios in it. You can't get better than that. So, like Tim Gunn says, make it work. Now, it's also National Barbie and Barney Backlash Day. Well, I don't have any little ones at home anymore, so these are not that familiar to me, but Barney's been around long enough. I know that Barbie's been around long enough, but I did not get that involved with Barbie. I don't think there were Barbie TV shows. There may be now, but there weren't then. So National Barbie and Barney Backlash Days are when you turn the cartoons off. You say, like, I'm not going to get those songs stuck in my head because they are little earworms, and they go around and around and around your head. So today is the day that parents can turn off those cartoon programs with all the songs that get stuck in your head and make you crazy. A piece of me, I remember when my kids were little. Now they're in my daughter is the youngest, and she's 40, coming up on 48. My oldest is, I think he's 54 maybe now. Maybe 55. He's something like that, 53, 54. And I still remember the songs. How about The Electric Company? And how about we're gonna zoom, 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 zoom. Oh, look, now we are zooming, and we get all excited about it. Gonna zoom, 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 zoom. You get those songs stuck in your head. And my niece, who is, probably wouldn't want me to say this, in her 60s, she's my sister's oldest, she used to watch a cartoon show, and it was Tennessee Tuxedo, and she would sing, C, Texasita. But here it is, I don't know how long now, and I still remember Texasita. So, yeah, enjoy them, but don't let them rule your life. I'm not that crazy about that holiday. But let's do okay, I just got a warning from my from my phone that the battery's going down. I forgot to hook up the alternate battery, and I'm charging everything, just in case we lose our power. But I wanted to give you an update on our sock monkey, and I started stuffing it. So remember yesterday it was all limpy, and so today I'm stuffing it, and just, you remember when I cut it between where the legs were, I left a big opening, and that's where you stuff in the this fiberfill. But there's some tricks about it I want to show you. First of all, when you are getting ready to do the stuffing, you don't take it out in big clumps. You kind of pick like this. So you pick up a bunch, and it's not in a big lump, so it's kind of fluffy. And then you stuff it like a turkey. Just shove it in there. Now, how you shape it is up to you. You can make it very plain, or if you want to shove a lot in the butt, you could have it be a bubble butt, or not. What I have a particular like of doing is I like to give my sock monkeys round little bellies. I don't know why. I just like it. So I'm going to give our sock monkey a puffy little belly. Now, this fiber fill that I'm using here is not my favorite, but it was a hand-me-down. It was for free, so, you know, if it works, what does Tim Gunn say? Make it work. Okay, so you see, I'm giving him a little belly. Is that too cute? Well, there we go, a little banana belly. And then you kind of, you shape them kind of like you shape dough a little bit. You don't want to make them too hard, but you don't want to make them too soft. And so then I'm going to stuff a leg so that you get the idea of how that works. You kind of scrunch the, you scrunch it up like this to make it shorter. You can't make it totally short, but you want to make it shorter so the stretch to get that fiber fill in there is not so bad. So here I'm going to grab some stuffing. I have made these for many of my nieces and nephews, for my kids, for their kids. It's kind of a thing. And if I didn't tell you the story of the sock monkey, I like to make them because when I was a little girl, I had a sock monkey that I called him my Soxy doll. And one day I brought him to kindergarten for show and tell. And a girl in like 5th or 6th grade came out at recess. And she said, let me see your monkey. And I'm like, no. And she said, come on, let me see it. And I said, no. And she was starting to like come at me like she was going to grab it. And I was on the swings. It had rained the night before. So I backed up and I came swinging through that puddle. And I got mud all over her. And then I went into the girls' room and hid in a stall until the teacher came to get me. I don't recall being punished for it, but you know, that girl should not have threatened me like she was going to come. And that's how little people get to be stronger big people, because some of us little people say, don't you try to pick on me. Okay, you might want to use, if you have chopsticks, sometimes the chopsticks help to move the fiber fill down there. So I'm pretty much almost done with this. Every day you're going to see it's getting, you know, shaped more and more into a sock monkey. And then you roll it and pat it. No, you just kind of roll it to give it the same little width all over. And so we have 2 legs. Yep. This one I'm going to roll a little thinner because I don't want to do another Tiny Tim, and it looks like I overstuffed this leg. So, see, what does Tim Gunn say? Make it work, and we're making it work. Oh, no, this is not for my great-grandson. I made him one before he was even born. And he still has it. And for those of you who don't know, I wrote one of the campfire stories, and the campfire story is Sidney Sockman's Frightful Night. And it's a fun story. A lot of people really love it. You don't have to be a kid to love campfire stories. Okay, so that is our little monkey event today. And then tomorrow, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna sew up the crotch area, and you see here where the threads have started to separate. I simply take a needle and thread and I close that up. Then I go all around the edge just in a running stitch, and then I stitch up the hole to make it all closed up nicely. So that is that. And I did want to show you, I'm not done with this yet. I've got the legs sewn on this one. Or this is the arms. Sorry, this is the arms. But I kept the needle and thread here because a lot of people, if you don't sew, you're not familiar with this technique. So I'm going to come up really close, hopefully, so that you can see what I'm doing. And what I do is called a back stitch. I have see where the needle's coming out of the material. I go behind it and I stick in the needle and come out right in front of it. So you just keep going like that. Go back and in and up. And what that does is it makes a stronger seam. If you only did a running stitch going up and down and up and down and up and down, when you stuff the monkey, there's little holes all down the legs because those stitches, unless they're teeny, 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 will not hold it. So that's called the back stitch. And that is how, oh, and I heartily, heartily recommend a thimble because I put my thimble on my middle finger, and when I stick the needle in, I wait till I can feel it hit the thimble so I know I am stitching through all the layers. So I'm going to finish that maybe tonight watching a Christmas show or something. So that is that. Oh, that was great fun. Alrighty, what else did I want to do today? Are you enjoying our little visits? I do enjoy the nice little things that you're sharing. Maybe, when we're done, like when the sock monkey's done, maybe we'll have, I'll read you Sydney Sockman's Frightful Night. And I hope in a way that I might inspire you to make a sock monkey or another homemade toy. I will say the dog toys I made are on their way to Florida. Lord willing, they'll get there before Christmas. Mail has not had a good delivery record lately. Things I mailed that were supposed to be out there on Saturday still haven't gotten there, and they were mailed way in advance. Okay, so one last thing that we can enjoy today is I thought I would do. I got this quiz. Now, it's got 30 questions, but we're not going to do them all today. So if you want to play along, we're going to do 10 a day for 3 days. If you want to play along, you have a paper and pencil and write down what you think the answer is. You can do 1 to 10 because we're going to do just 10 questions. And after we do the 10, I'll go back and we'll do the answers and you can see if you got them right. Sound like fun? I hope so. Okay. This one you'll probably cheat on because everyone does, I'm sure. On which day of the week was Christmas 2019? Once you're above the 5 O's, then it's kind of harder to get that mind to go back fast enough. But what day of the week was Christmas Day 2019? Now this one should be easy. What color are the berries found on the European mistletoe plant? What color are the berries? Are you doing spoiler alert, Cheryl? That's okay. You go right ahead. You go right ahead. Ah, yes, we did have a leap day this year. We did. You know what you're supposed to do on leap day? On the 29th of February when it shows up? if you're dating someone, you're supposed to propose if you're a woman. So that is leap day, is the day that a woman can propose to a man. Just saying. There is a really cute movie, by the way, called Leap Year. And if you get a chance to watch it, no, that's fine, Cheryl. Put the answers in there, because I don't know if anybody else even sees them. So, yeah, put them in there so I know you got it. Okay. All right, Miss Smarty Pants, Cheryl. But you can't cheat. You can't Google it, okay? You can put the answers up there, but you can't Google it. Okay. Which journalist, writer, and poet wrote the first ever King's Christmas message? It was for George V in 1932. Answer that one. I'm going to mark it because I don't think you... No, you can put the answers up there. Just don't Google them. I want to know that you know it, because you know how smart you are. Okay. So, what did Tom Smith of London invent in 1847 after getting the idea on a trip to Paris? The one I just did or the one before it? The one about the Christmas message or the one about the idea? Okay, I'll go back to the one above. Which journalist, writer, and poet wrote the first ever King's Christmas message? It was for George V in 1932. And while you're thinking on that, not Googling it, I'm going to run and get my battery because I'm losing it. Hold on. There we go. I don't know if it got dark for you, but it got real dark for me. Okay, so hopefully you got the Christmas message question that time and had plenty of time to think about it. Okay, so the next one, number 4, is what did Tom Smith of London invent in 1847 after getting the idea on a trip to Paris? What did Tom Smith of London invent in 1847 after getting the idea on a trip to Paris? Now, I'm going to give you a clue to that. Don't Google it. The clue is, every time you see a Christmas movie, you will see this in as a part of the movie. 9 times out of 10, if it's a a recent-ish movie, recent, 60 years. Okay. Here's one you're going to know pretty quick. If you don't know this one, you better go watch that movie. What is the name of Bob Cratchit's youngest child in the book A Christmas Carol? Okay, that's question number 5. And if you really want to see another good movie, it's called The Man Who Invented Christmas. And it's about Dickens writing The Christmas Carol. Okay. Number 6. The modern Santa Claus was based on traditions surrounding which 4th century Greek bishop? I'll bet you know that one. Okay, yes you do. All right, here's a quickie. If you were born on Christmas Day, what is your star sign? If you were born on Christmas Day, what is your star sign? That would also mean astrological sign. Oh, here's one that I would never know. So if you know this one, you're way ahead of me. Which song plays out the end credits of the film Die Hard? I don't think I ever saw Die Hard, so, you know. So which song plays out the end credits of the film Die Hard? Okay, don't see anything popping up. Number 9, what, with parts called Lametta, was invented in Nuremberg, Germany in 1610? I will give you a clue. It is, nope. I will give you a clue. It is a decoration. So, what, with parts called Lametta, was invented in Nuremberg, Germany in 1610, and I can't believe it was that long ago it was invented. Okay, and we've got one last one, and that, nope. We've got one last one. Who played Kris Kringle in the 1994 Miracle on 34th Street? Who played Kris Kringle in the 1994 film Miracle on 34th Street? All right. No, not fruitcake. All right. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute, Cheryl, to think on that last one. And anybody else? And then I'm going to read the answers. So, if you want to guess again and you don't want the answers yet and you're watching this after its live Facebook video, you can go back to the beginning and listen to the answer, listen to the questions again. Nope. Okay. On which day of the week was Christmas Day 2019? Wednesday. What color are the berries found on European mistletoe plant? White. I don't know that any mistletoe plant has a different color. When it said European, it kind of threw me off, but okay. Which journalist, writer, and poet wrote the first ever King's Christmas message? It was for George V in 1932. And the answer to that was Rudyard Kipling. Ah, the things you learn. Well, what are we here for but to learn? Okay. What did Tom Smith of London invent in 1847 after getting the idea on a trip to Paris? One last shot. You gonna try something? Guess something, Cheryl? Because you're the head answerer. You would have never got, yeah, no, I wouldn't have gotten that either. How about the one about what Tom Smith of London invented after getting the idea on a trip to Paris? The answer is, if you've ever seen Christmas movies, Christmas crackers. And they are the things that, what they look like, they're long tubes with little foo-foos on the end, and you pull the things and it pops when it opens, and there's a silly tissue paper hat and a little game and stuff in there. Yeah, they're lots of fun. I buy them whenever I'm going to be around people to enjoy them. Okay, of course, Bob Cratchit's youngest child in A Christmas Carol is Tiny Tim. And, of course, The modern Santa Claus was based on traditions surrounding Saint Nicholas. So you got that right. If you were born on Christmas Day, what is your star sign? What is your astrological sign? That would be Capricorn. Which song plays out the end credits of the film Die Hard? Let It Snow. Never saw the movie, wouldn't have known it. What, with parts called lametta, was invented in Nuremberg, Germany in 1610? That this has been around since 1610 stunned me. And that answer is tinsel. Now, I don't know if you remember the days when tinsel was actually made with lead. They were little, and they really shimmered, and they were very dangerous, but like a lot of the things we did back then. Oh, speaking of tinsel, that's another great book to listen to or read. I can't tell you who wrote it. I haven't listened to it in years, but it's a very interesting, it's nonfiction. It's kind of a documentary about a guy doing a study on how some folks in a very, very wealthy area in Texas, how they celebrate Christmas. It's really, really eye-opening. And then the actor who played Kris Kringle in the 1994 film Miracle on 34th Street is Richard Attenborough. Now, I don't know who that is. He's one of those ones where, remember the American Express commercials where they say, "You don't know my name, but you know my face." Yeah, he's one of those. So I thought that was fun, and we'll do 10 more tomorrow. And we went overtime, 8 minutes, but I hope it was a very pleasurable 8 minutes for you, and that you will join me tomorrow for a little fun in our next 10 questions. And now I'm going to do the one last thing about fighting COVID fatigue and dealing with our daily lives, and that is the importance of a very, very seemingly small thing that you shouldn't overlook. 1 minute. And that is the power of a nap. Oh, you know, one of the things about becoming as a little child at Christmas is allowing yourself. I have got this softest, coziest little blanket that the Florida family gave me, my Florida family, last Christmas. And I gotta tell you, it's so warm and cozy. And my little cottage can tend to get a little chilly. And so I lay on my couch. I put on something that I won't care if I fell asleep in the middle of it. And I enjoy, what is it? It even says that, for a long Christmas nap. I'm going to have a nap. You can too. And have a great rest of your day. I hope I see you tomorrow. Thanks for being with me today.